Today on the program, we'll see what a Tesla Model 3 looks like after 600,000 kilometers. Ford is preparing a huge revolution, and a Chinese manufacturer is presenting a cross between a tank and a pedal boat. And finally, Chery has no shame in selling a copy of the Audi A6 for 12,000 euros. Let's go! What does a Tesla Model 3 look like for 7,500 euros with mileage that would put an old Mercedes or an old Volvo to shame? Well, bad news for the doomsayers who think an electric car is only good for the junkyard after 300,000 kilometers. A Canadian YouTube channel, Drive Protected, had the brilliant idea to buy the highest mileage Tesla Model 3 in North America, a 2019 Standard Range Plus with 610,000 kilometers on the odometer. That's 15 times around the Earth, or almost a round trip to the moon. And the craziest part is that the battery and the motor are original. So what does a Tesla look like after spending its life on the highway, probably battered by repeated fast charging? Well, they did the test, charged it to 100%, and surprise, the screen shows 254 kilometers of range. When it was new, it showed 386. That's a capacity loss of about 34%. A third of the battery has evaporated over 600,000 kilometers. On the highway, at 110 km per hour, the car lasted 222 kilometers before asking to be recharged. For a car that has driven 87,000 kilometers per year for 7 years, that's very respectable. To put that in perspective, a recent study by GTour on more than 22,000 electric vehicles shows that batteries lose an average of 2% of capacity per year. This Model 3 is below average, sure, but it has driven 6 times more than a normal car. And let's not forget the study from the University of Birmingham published in 2025, which estimates the average lifespan of an electric car at 200,000 kilometers compared to 187,000 kilometers. That's not much.
Naissance, cette Tesla a pulvérisé ces chiffres.
Of course, there were a few repairs. They had to change a part called the super bottle, something that manages cooling, for about 1,000 euros. But the heart of the machine is still beating. So what should we take away from this? That batteries degrade. Yes, that's physics, but they don't suddenly die in a cloud of smoke. They age slowly. With 610,000 kilometers, this Model 3 won't get you across France in one go, but it's ideal for commuting, shopping, or city driving. Then Ford, the company that put America on wheels, recently believed that the future would be electric and that everyone would rush to buy their Mustang Mach-E and their F-150 Lightning. As a result, it's a financial disaster. Billions of dollars have gone up in smoke. And meanwhile, at the Beijing Auto Show, Chinese manufacturers like BYD and CATL are showing off batteries that recharge in 5 minutes. The head of Ford, Jim Farley, tried out a Chinese car, the Xiaomi SU7, and he admitted he didn't see any of this coming. It's as if the Titanic's captain said, "Hey, the water feels cold today." So what does Ford do? Yes, they panic, but above all, they strike back. And they're doing it in a totally unexpected way. They created a secret project in California, far from Detroit, far from the white-collar types and dusty processes. They locked 350 engineers in a building called the EV Design Center in Long Beach. And guess who they hired? Former employees from Tesla and Apple. Their mission: to create a brand new electric platform called Universal Electric. The goal is simple: reduce costs, simplify production, and above all, release an electric pickup by 2027 for less than $30,000. To achieve this, they had to rethink everything. Traditional assembly lines are gone. Now they're using Tesla-inspired gigacasting. Basically, instead of assembling hundreds of small parts, they cast huge single-piece blocks of aluminum. The result is 20% fewer components in production that's 15% faster, and that's not all. They've drastically reduced the number of cables. In this new pickup, there will be 1.3 kilometers less wiring than in a Mustang Mach-E, which saves 10 kilograms. And the real secret behind this low price is the battery. No more expensive nickel and cobalt. They're switching to LFP batteries, lithium iron phosphate. It's cheaper, it's more robust, and it's integrated directly into the floor to save space. Ford even promises that this pickup will have more interior space than a Toyota RAV4, and to top it all off, they've come up with something revolutionary: repairability. If you have an accident, you won't have to throw the car away. The large cast parts will have cut lines so you can easily replace the damaged sections, and that's brilliant. Alan Clark, the former Tesla employee leading the project, admitted that the pressure was enormous, but as he puts it so well, you can't create a diamond without pressure. So will Ford succeed without Paris? Will this $30,000 pickup be the new Model T that saves the company from the Chinese tidal wave? Or is it arriving too late to the party? We'll find out in 2027. Next, the Chinese automotive market is currently a war zone. There are so many electric SUVs, hybrids, and range extender vehicles that you could pave the Great Wall with them. To stand out, you need to be creative, bold, and completely crazy. So here is the GTour. G700 GTour is a brand from the Chery Group. And their new toy is not just a plug-in hybrid SUV the size of a Toyota Land Cruiser. It's a machine with 892 horsepower that, when it hits the water, cuts the transmission to the wheels and activates the propellers. They call it the Arc Edition, During a recent demonstration, this behemoth crossed the Minjiang River in 10 minutes with a gyroscopic system to stay perfectly upright, keeping its passengers completely dry. Under the hood, there's a 2-liter combustion engine paired with 2 electric motors for a total of 892 horsepower and 1,135 Nm of torque. It goes from 0 to 100 in 4.6 seconds, and with its 34 kWh CATL battery, it can drive 100 kilometers in full electric mode and recharge from 20 to 80% in 10 minutes, thanks to an 800-volt architecture. But the real question is, why? Thierry will tell you it's for emergency situations, for sudden floods, and it's true, China does experience dramatic floods. But let's be honest for a second, how many owners of this 80,000 euro SUV are really going to use it to escape a tsunami? In truth, it's the ultimate gadget. It's the ideal pitch for someone who has it all and wants to impress at the golf club. Oh, your SUV has massaging seats? Mine has propellers and can cross a lake. It's technological one-upmanship taken to its extreme. Currently, this tank pedal boat hybrid is sold only in China, the United Arab Emirates, and the Philippines. Don't expect to see it on European roads soon. Finally, let's talk about the delicate art of copy-pasting. You see, in the Chinese automotive industry, copy-pasting isn't considered fraud, it's a business model. Let me introduce you to the car that's currently giving Audi's lawyers cold sweats, the Chery Arizo S. The Chery Group, which is launching a massive offensive in Europe with brands like Automotive and GTour, has just unveiled this sedan at the Beijing Motor Show. And how can I put this? Just look at it. The gaping hexagonal honeycomb grille, the sharp headlights, the huge air intakes. It's the face of an Audi RS6. The profile with that sloping roofline, that's an Audi A5. And the rear with that thin continuous light strip, that's an Audi A7. Under the hood, however, there's no fire-breathing twin-turbo V8. The Chinese don't like big engines. They're too heavily taxed. Instead, you'll find a modest 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder with 257 horsepower. Of course, this Arizo S will never set its wheels in Europe. Customs would probably seize it before it even got off the boat for intellectual property violations. But in China, where plagiarism is completely tolerated, it's going to sell like hotcakes. For the price of a well-equipped Citroën Ami, Chinese buyers will get the look of a top executive at Audi and the comfort of a CEO at Mercedes. It's the perfect illusion because, yes, one important point is that this car will be sold in China for the equivalent of 12,000 euros. And before finishing this video, you might be paying 480 euros more per year for your car insurance than you actually need to. What's surprising is that in France, more than 1 out of 2 drivers never change their insurance. Not by choice, but because it's often complicated to compare offers, fill out forms, and make endless phone calls. As a result, many keep paying full price when they could save up to 40 euros a month. So we thought we needed to simplify all that with our free car insurance comparison tool. In 2 minutes, you get the best offers with no commitment, no spam, and sometimes more than 40 euros in savings each month. That's over 450 euros saved per year. Enough for a few tanks of gas or a weekend road trip. So if you have a car, or if you want to change yours, try it now. It's free, fast, and if you find a better offer, it's all upside. You'll find the link to our free, no-obligation comparison tool in the description or in the first pinned comment. Thank you all for watching this new video. Feel free to subscribe and turn on the notification bell to make sure you don't miss anything. Bye.